The Professional Darts Corporation is a professional darts organization established in the United Kingdom during 1992, when a group of leading professional players split from the British Darts Organization to form what was initially called the World Darts Council. Barry Hearn, an experienced sports promoter, is the PDC's current chairman. The PDC developed and holds several championship competitions including the annual PDC World Darts Championship, the UK Open, World Grand Prix, Premier League and World Matchplay. It also runs its own world rankings based on players' performances. History. In the 1980s, professional darts in Britain lost much of its sponsorship and most of its television coverage. From 1989, the only televised event was the annual PDC World Championship. Some of the players felt that not enough was being done by the governing body, the British Darts Organisation, to encourage new sponsors into the sport and arrange more television coverage than just one event a year. As a result, 16 professional players, including every previous BDO world champion who was still active in the game, created their own darts organization, the World Darts Council. In January 1992, they wanted to appoint a PR consultant to improve the image of the game. The 1993 PDC World Championship was the last time there was one unified World Championship. The WDC players wore the new insignia on the sleeves during the tournament but were told to remove them by the BDO. The WDC players decided that if they were not going to be recognized by the BDO, they would no longer play in the PDC tournament. The BDO took the step of banning the rebel players from playing in county darts and even threatened to ban any player who participated in exhibition events with WDC players. Tomlin order. The WDC players took the matter to court in a dispute which accrued large and perhaps unaffordable costs during a protracted legal process. The two bodies reached an out-of-court settlement on the 30th of June 1997 in the form of a Tomlin order. The BDO recognized the WDC and agreed that all players shall have the freedom of choice as to which open events they wish to play in. The WDC dropped its claim to be a world governing body and renamed itself the Professional Darts Corporation. The PDC accepted and recognized the WDF as the governing body for the sport of darts worldwide, and the BDO the governing body for darts in the UK. The stated purpose of the agreement was to promote the freedom of individual darts players to participate freely in open competition. Another condition of this Tomlin order is that the top 16 players, and any home country players ranked between 17 and 32 in each year's BDO Championship, and the top 16 players in each year's PDC Championship, shall not be permitted to enter the other competition in the immediately following year. Despite this condition, Raymond van Barneveld switched to the PDC within weeks of reaching the 2006 BDO final. Later playing in the 2007 PDC World Championship, the Tomlin order should have made him ineligible to play. However, it emerged that van Barneveld had negotiated a clause in his contract with the BDO, giving him the right to play in the PDC World Championship the year immediately after his last BDO World Championship. There was further controversy following the 2007 BDO World Championship, when Kjell Claesson announced that he would be switching to the PDC. As a BDO World Champion, he signed a 3-year deal in 2006 to return to the legside event. The BDO threatened to take legal action for breach of contract. but with previous damage and costs incurred by other legal cases, it has become less likely that any action will be taken in future with regards to player contracts and the Tomlin order. 2007 semi-finalist Mervyn King also moved to the PDC, seemingly against the contracted condition that semi-finalists and finalists were bound to appear the next year. In January 2012, the PDC invited the 4 semi-finalists of the BDO World Championships, after obtaining a written agreement to release any player without penalty. Ted Hankey was the first player to move, as well as several players entering the PDC qualifying school, including Dean Winstanley, Tony West, Steve West, and Stuart Kellett. Television coverage. Following the Breakaway Group's first televised event in 1992, satellite broadcaster Sky Sports signed a deal to exclusively cover 3 PDC tournaments each year. To capitalize on its investment, the channel introduced a number of new techniques to make the coverage more interesting for armchair fans. Unlike the BDO World Championship, which is covered via the general entertainment BBC2 channel, Sky's dedicated sports channel allowed the PDC matches to be covered in their entirety. Over 10 hours per day of live darts on Sky Sports is not uncommon. The British Darts Organisation's events were more limited to selected matches and highlights, although in recent years the BBC has increased its interactive TV coverage, allowing viewers to see many more events live. Sky Television is an advertisement and subscription-based channel, and generally after each set a commercial break is taken. Planet Funk's 2000 single, Chase the Sun, is played in the auditorium, and it has become a cult track amongst darts fans, who tend to dance along to the tune during the breaks. Currently Sky Sports broadcasts 6 tournaments live each year in both Ireland and the United Kingdom. PDC events are also televised in Australia, Germany, Hungary, India, Japan, the Netherlands, Singapore, South Africa and the United States. The PDC signed a 3-year deal with ITV in 2007, with the inaugural Grand Slam of Darts from 2007 and the inaugural Players' Championship from 2009. The matches are shown live on ITV4 with highlights on ITV1. With ITV being an advertisement channel like Sky Sports, when commercial breaks are taken after 4 legs, as the tournaments that ITV covered do not play in sets. The Fratellis 2006 single, Chelsea Dagger, is played during the breaks on ITV. In 2010, Bravo signed a contract to show the European Championships. In 2007, Sky Sports decided to extend the coverage of the Premier League darts to 2010 following the high number of viewers to previous tournaments. Cameras. Sky Sports introduced more cameras to cover the sport, and many of these innovations have been copied by other broadcasters. Unique flight cams show the trajectory of the dart through the air in slow motion to sometimes surprising results. A tiny camera has also been inserted into the dartboard itself beside the number 16, one of the most common doubles, that shows the darts being thrown towards the board. Sky Sports have also used a player cam. A tiny camera was fitted to Dennis Priestley's shirt to capture his view of the action while playing. Elsewhere, floating video cameras capture the action of the watching crowds. Spectators become far more animated and vocal, similar to a football crowd, while holding up humorous placards, often featuring corny puns, regarding the players. Some supporters even wear face paint to dress up as the favorite player via the trademark attire, a customary nickname. The players' wives have also been a focus for the cameras, as they cheered or screeched on the husbands. In January 2005, Sky One commissioned a program entitled Darts Players' Wives, primarily focusing on the wives and the relationships. In December 2008, Sky started to broadcast darts in high definition, and in July 2010, broadcast the semi-finals and final in 3D to around 1,000 licensed premises in the UK and Ireland. Commentators: John Gwynne has covered all PDC events from the inaugural 1992 competition until his retirement in 2013. Dave Lanning covered all events up until December 2010, when he retired. Contrary to popular belief, long-time BBC darts commentator Sid Waddell did not switch allegiances to Sky until after the 1994 PDC World Championship. He brought his own unique brand of commentary to the game, and was a cult figure amongst darts fans and sport fans alike. He continued to commentate until his death in 2012. Stuart Pike joined the team in 2003. Other commentators include Nigel Pearson, Rod Studd, and former players Rod Harrington, Wayne Mardle, 5-time world champion Eric Bristow, and 3-time world champion John Part. Jeff Stelling was the original presenter of Sky Sports darts coverage, but most of the events are now presented by Dave Clark. In addition, the 2005 Premier League was fronted by Gary Newburn. ITV events were fronted by Matt Smith, with Ned Bolting undertaking features and interviews. Bravo employed James Richardson and Dave Gorman to front its coverage until the channel closed in 2011. Image: the PDC sought to attract a younger audience of both sexes for darts and market the game as a night out rather than just as a sporting event. Through the years, it was not uncommon to see politicians, musicians, football players, boxers and other sporting personalities attending their events. The British Darts Organisation have subsequently sought to emulate most of these innovations. Players enter matches with their own signature theme music whilst flanked by security men and female valets down to the OCHE. A big-time atmosphere was also created by using smoke machines and pyrotechnics during these sometimes elaborate entrances, similar to those used in boxing or wrestling. At the OCHE, players only drink iced water during matches, though this was intended to further the game's image, which had been tarnished by players' reputation for consuming large quantities of alcohol. The water is also needed to prevent dehydration. With the many lights and packed crowds, temperatures have been measured at over 38 degrees Celsius during some games. Inside the venues, action is relayed via giant video screens for the large crowds. The BDO now also has video screens, while maintaining the traditional light boards of light bulbs, showing where each dart lands for the benefit of the crowd. Nicknames: Eric Bristow, the most successful player in the first few years of the World Championship, had his nickname, the Crafty Cockney, emblazoned on the back of his shirt. Very few dart players had their own nicknames until the Professional Darts Corporation circuit made it almost customary for every player to acquire a nickname. This helps to create a new generation of characters with which its audience could identify. Sky TV commentator Sid Waddell attempted to christen Phil Taylor the Crafty Potter, referring to him being both a protege of Bristow and originating from the Potteries. However, the tag never caught on, and it wasn't until a later tournament that he came out to the tune "The Power" by Snap that his nickname was accidentally born. Jamie Harvey from Scotland became Bravade, a play on words from Mel Gibson's Braveheart film. Sky Sports even filmed vignettes where a kilt-wearing Jamie had his face painted blue and ran through woods throwing his darts whilst looking menacing. Is the only player to wear a shirt, tie and waistcoat whilst playing. Rod Harrington's Prince of Style tag appeared apt. Though originally from the BDO circuit, Wayne Mardle is known as Hawaii 501 due to his colorful Hawaiian shirts. Bob Anderson, now living in Clevedon in Somerset, is known as the Limestone Cowboy, after the limestone hills of Wiltshire where Bob used to live, and the fact that he enjoys country and western music. This was once taken even further, with Anderson once riding to the stage on a horse. Current tournaments. The Professional Darts Corporation has continued to increase its annual UK televised tournaments in recent years. The World Championship, the Premier League, World Cup of Darts, World Grand Prix and World Matchplay are all covered live via Sky Sports. The US Open was shown on Challenge in 2007 and Nuts TV in 2008. Bravo broadcast the European Championships for the first time in 2010, after ITV4 televised the first running in 2008. ITV4 won back the coverage for the European Championship. They also show live coverage of the World Series of Darts, Players' Championship, UK Open and the Masters. Most televised tournaments have a different format which can give them their own distinctive and unique character. Ranked tournaments. William Hill World Championship. The World Championship is a single elimination seeded tournament beginning in late December and finishing in early January. It is the biggest of the PDC tournaments and has the largest prize fund of any darts competition. Held at the Circus d'Avon, Purfleet between 1994 and 2007, the championship moved to a bigger venue at Alexandra Palace from 2008. Phil Taylor has dominated this tournament, reaching the final for the first 14 years between 1994 and 2007 and winning 14 titles, including 8 successive titles between 1995 and 2002. The PDC World Champions have also shared 8 BDO World Championships between them, with Van Barneveld winning 4, Taylor 2, and Part and Priestley 1 each. These are usually added to each player's haul when describing their achievements, hence Taylor is a 16-time champion, Van Barneveld 5, Part 3 and Priestley 2. Previous winners: 14 Phil Taylor, 2 John Part, 2 Adrian Lewis, 2 Gary Anderson, 1 Dennis Priestley, 1 Raymond Van Barneveld, 1 Michael van Gerwen. Coral UK Open held each year in June at the Reebok Stadium in Bolton, and from 2014 in March at Butlins, Minehead. The UK Open is played over 3 days with 168 players in a single elimination tournament. After each round a draw is held where there is no protection for seeded players. This has earned it the nickname the FA Cup of Darts. Phil Taylor is the most successful player in the tournament's history, with 5 victories. Previous winners: 5 Phil Taylor, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 2 James Wade, 2 Raymond van Barneveld, 1 Roland Skelton, 1 Robert Thornton, 1 Adrian Lewis. At Victor World Matchplay, crowds exceeding 2,000 in number assemble at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, the longest-serving venue in the PDC. Matches are contested over legs rather than sets, presenting the prospect of some surprising results and upsets. Phil Taylor has been the dominant player in this event, winning 15 titles, including 13 of the last 17, and being undefeated in his first 15 finals. Previous winners: 15 Phil Taylor, 2 Rod Harrington, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 Larry Butler, 1 Peter Everson, 1 Colin Lloyd, 1 James Wade. Part-I Poker. World Grand Prix. The World Grand Prix replaced the World Pairs event in 1998. Its original venue was the Casino Rooms in Rochester, Kent until 1999, with one staging in Rosslare in 2000 before moving in 2001 to its current home at the City West Hotel in Dublin, Ireland. This tournament has shorter opening rounds and players must commence and finish each leg on a double, including the option of the bull, which is a format not used in any other major televised event. Taylor has dominated the event since its inception, with 11 victories. Previous winners: 11 Phil Taylor, 2 James Wade, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 Alan Warner, 1 Colin Lloyd, 1 Robert Thornton. Singer Beer Grand Slam of Darts introduced in 2007. The Grand Slam was the first tournament staged in the UK to feature players from the two different organisations, the PDC and BDO. Players who had reached the finals of each organisation's major tournaments for the previous 2 years were invited to compete in the Grand Slam. It is held over 9 days during November and shown live on Sky Sports. The first 4 tournaments were shown live on ITV4. The 2007 Grand Slam of Darts was ITV's first networked darts tournament since pulling the plug on darts coverage in 1988. Previous winners: 6 Phil Taylor, 1 Scott Waits, 1 Raymond van Barneveld, 1 Michael van Gerwen. Cash Converters Players Championship Finals introduced in 2009. This tournament was open to the top 32 players on the Players' Championship Order of Merit until 2015. In 2016 there were 64 players from the top 64 in the Pro Tour Order of Merit. It is broadcast live on ITV4. Previous winners: 3 Phil Taylor, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 Paul Nicholson, 1 Kevin Painter, 1 Gary Anderson. Party Poker Net European Championship. The European Championship is a tournament that allows the top players in Europe to compete against the top players in the PDC Order of Merit. It started in 2008 and each year has a £200,000 prize fund. Phil Taylor won the first 4 editions of the tournament, before Simon Whitlock scooped his first, and so far only, major title in 2012. Previous winners: 4 Phil Taylor, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 Simon Whitlock, 1 Adrian Lewis. Non-ranked tournaments. The Unibet Masters. The Unibet Masters is the staging of a non-ranking darts tournament held by the Professional Darts Corporation. The first event was held between 1 to 3 November 2013 at the Royal Highland Centre in Edinburgh, Scotland. Previous winners: 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 Phil Taylor, 1 James Wade. Betway Premier League Darts. In 2005, Sky Sports launched the Premier League Darts television program. For 5 months, 10 of the biggest names from the PDC circuit compete in a league table, with matches held across the country at different venues. Phil Taylor has topped the table after the weekly rounds on 8 of the 12 occasions the Premier League has been staged, going on to win the playoffs 6 times. Previous winners: 6 Phil Taylor, 2 Gary Anderson, 2 Michael van Gerwen, 1 James Wade, 1 Raymond van Barneveld. World Series of Darts. The World Series of Darts is a series of tournaments taking place on various continents. These tournaments are non-ranked. The field of players usually exists out of a number of 8 PDC top players participating on invitation, complemented by another 8 national qualifiers. In 2016 the World Series of Darts consisted of the following tournaments: Dubai Duty Free Darts Masters, Japan Darts Masters, Perth Darts Masters, Sydney Darts Masters, Auckland Darts Masters, Shanghai Darts Masters. World Series of Darts Finals. Win World Cup of Darts, one of 3 new tournaments for 2010. Players from 24 countries compete for a prize fund of £150,000. The qualifiers are drawn from the PDC Order of Merit. Sky Sports screen the tournament, which rivals the WDF World Cup. England have won the title on 4 occasions, with the pairing of Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis triumphant each time. Previous winners for England: 2 Netherlands. Champions League of Darts, a new event to be staged for the first time in September 2016. Top 8 players on the order of merit after the World Match Play will be invited. It will be the first ever PDC event to be shown live on the BBC. PDC World Youth Championship, the second of the new tournaments for 2010, was open to all darts players, from both the BDO and PDC, aged between 18 and 21. The final was televised live on Sky Sports at Alexandra Palace before the final of the World Championship. In later years, before the final of the Premier League, the two finalists will also be invited to become PDC Pro card holders and would receive sponsorship from Riley's Dart Zones, the PDC's staging partners in this event. They will also be invited to compete in the Grand Slam of Darts. In 2015, the age limit was changed to under 23. Previous winners: 1 Aaron Monk, 1 James Hubbard, 1 Michael Smith, 1 Keegan Brown, 1 Max Hopp. PDC Pro Tour. The PDC Pro Tour is a series of non-televised one-day tournaments. The prize fund is £30,000 for each tournament and features up to 32 boards in action on an arena floor, hence the nickname floor tournament. With shorter matches and the floor setup, a different kind of pressure applies compared to televised events, and a different set of results can be produced. For instance, Barry Bates was the PDC Floor Player of the Year in 2006, with Colin Lloyd and Mick McGowan also nominated, none of whom won a major during the year. The 2016 calendar features 20 Players' Championships, 10 European Tour events and 6 UK Open qualifiers. Past tournaments: Las Vegas Desert Classic, the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, Las Vegas, Nevada was the setting for the Las Vegas Desert Classic each July from 2002 to 09. It furthered the PDC's aim to develop a world darts circuit. Previous winners: 5 Phil Taylor, 1 Peter Manley, 1 John Part, 1 Raymond van Barneveld. PDC Unicorn Women's World Championship. The PDC Unicorn Women's World Championship was open to all female darts players from both the BDO and PDC. The 32 qualifiers played down to the last 2 in a floor tournament, and the final were televised live on Sky Sports before the final of the World Match Play. The 2 finalists were also invited to become PDC Pro card holders for 2011 and 2012 and would receive sponsorship from Riley's Dart Zones, the PDC's staging partners in this event. They were also invited to compete in the 2010 Grand Slam of Darts. The first PDC Women's World Championship, in 2010, was won by Stacey Bromberg, who beat Tricia Wright 6-5. The match was played after the semi-finals of the 2010 World Match Play in Blackpool. It was first to 6 legs, of which Bromberg was 5-3 down before making a comeback to win 6-5. 1 Stacey Bromberg. US Open. The US Open was a tournament introduced in 2007 to replace the World Series of Darts. The World Series ran for just 1 year in 2006. Phil Taylor won the US Open in 2007 and 2008. The tournament was reduced down to Players' Championship status for the 2009 and 2010 editions. Previous winners: 2 Phil Taylor. Championship League Darts started in 2008. The Championship League Darts offered the players outside the top 8 in the PDC order of merit to compete for the championship. It was also the first tournament to be broadcast only by the Internet. This tournament was discontinued after the 2013 edition. Previous winners: 4 Phil Taylor, 1 Colin Osborne, 1 James Wade,